Hi, and welcome to Unrestricted Thoughts TV. I'm Alex Crackities, and this is my good friend, Adam Shirley.
So we made this podcast because we both spend immense amounts of time each day on our phones researching and educating ourselves about the world of politics and global affairs. And we decided it was finally time for us to create this platform and this podcast to express our views and share our beliefs with others.
Our goal is to provide people of our age group with some different angles and viewpoints, because most of the media we take in every single day is either biased or not completely correct, and it creates us with like a tunnel vision of how that we see things and perceive issues going on in our country every single day. And more importantly, many details get lost in translation also.
Yeah, I'm really big on local politics and legislation and getting elections won for the Republican Party and things like that. Also community outreach and stuff like that. So I'm going to be taking the wheel when it comes to discussing those things, elections, legislation, laws that are being debated and passed, stimulus bills, stuff like that. And I'll usually take the lead on those, but Alex works on stuff a little bit differently and looks at a little bit different information than I do.
I typically enjoy researching more and digging as deep as I can into things that don't normally get covered by the media, or things that get
undercovered,
they get covered up or purposefully just completely not even covered in the day-to-day media, because they either
have an agenda or
they go against something that the people on the board just don't like.
There are certain stories that just don't get on the front page of certain news organizations
because they look bad. But today is going to be more of a standard episode compared to what we have on episode 2, because episode 2 is about 45 minutes long, and that's just a lot of video for us to have to go through afterwards and edit and everything. So
it's a lot for y'all to watch too, to sit there and watch a 45-minute long
That's
video.
A lot. I mean, it was a lot for me to watch, so I mean, we're going to stick more to 20, 25 minutes. But, so yeah, today we're going to start out talking about Joe Biden, because that's a fun topic. Yeah. Everybody loves either making fun of him because he's has no idea what he's talking about half the time, or because they like him. But I mean, yeah.
So,
what do you think? Do you think he has dementia, Adam?
Definitely either early onset Alzheimer's or dementia of some sort. He has memory loss. Like, there's something going on there that he's not. The gears aren't fully turning properly. Yeah,
something's not clicked in a while. It's been a while too since things have clicked correctly in his head.
This hasn't been something that's like it's new, where you might be able to ride it out for 4 years.
There's compilations of videos dating all the way back to like 2006 and even prior to that, just of him
telling the truth. He's always. I remember one thing I've seen. You can look this video up where he said he graduated in the top half of his law class. He was an outstanding student.
Yeah, that's not true.
Department, all this stuff, and none of it was true. But Joe Biden frequently forgets where he is, forgets what he's saying, and forgets what he believes. So that's not an uncommon thing, and that's the problem. If you have a politician or political candidate who sometimes forgets what they say, but not like a pattern of events, it's one thing.
Because that's human.
Yeah, that's what happens
but
in daily life.
But this is almost habitual. It happens all the time.
He can't make it through 4 sentences without messing up and stumbling over his words, or saying the wrong thing, or just completely going to a completely different topic. Because sometimes that happens.
He's like 1776. Oh, you know the thing.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
I like it when children jump on my lap and play with my hair in the pool. Imagine if one of us said that on national TV, dude. He's like, I don't like roaches.
I learned about roaches, and I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I love kids jumping on my lap. If you said that,
dude.
If any other politician said that.
Yeah, imagine Trump saying that on national television. I like children jumping on my lap. And just being like straight-faced about it like the whole time. And like, dude, I saw a clip too of him talking about the African American community. He was talking about like the ideal black guy. He was like, look at him. He's intelligent. He's cut. He has a fresh cut. Like who says that? Like it's like
You can't
it's
talk
like,
about
it's
people
like they're robots or something. Or
there's an ideal black person for America today, and this is what he looks like. And this
that's not right. You don't say that. They're always talking about being PC and politically correct and everything, and that is the most not politically correct.
If you've got an ideal version of people by their race, then there's probably an issue with your worldview.
Yeah, or your brain, or his brain just doesn't work. Or it's just like slow. I feel like his brain is like a really, really old Apple computer.
He probably said that, and then he was like, "Oh wait, an intelligent person who doesn't look raggedy." Is the model for every person, not just the black people.
Yeah.
Whoa.
His brain has like the ring of death on Xbox.
I mean, y'all remember when he was president or vice president with Obama, how he would spend the time while Obama was making horrible policy decisions, making friendship bracelets for Barack.
Yeah, that was weird.
Really weird.
Yeah, and he always has he's always making these little kickbacks with other countries like Ukraine and China, making these deals behind everybody's backs with taxpayer money.
Millions of dollars little, but
yeah. I mean, to them that's a little. To them that's just a small thing compared to like Pelosi's $3 trillion stimulus bill that would completely throw us into like the place Greece is, like where our debt replaces our GDP, like that. That is completely. Dude, I just think Democrats just like spending money. They're like that wife that your friend has that just literally goes out and spends their entire husband's paycheck in like 3 hours. Like that's exactly what like the Democrats are. Like they just love spending our money.
Like we just signed a new budget bill. Now what can we go give away to people who aren't from this country?
Yeah, dude. Like, small businesses are failing right now.
Like tons of people record-breaking.
Let's go ahead and fund Planned Parenthood
and give the illegal immigrants $1,200 stimulus checks.
Yeah, why not? And while we're at it, dude, like let's just pay ourselves a little bit too.
They did put the congressional pay raise in there because no
Nancy,
one is struggling during the pandemic like someone who makes six figures and wears a suit every day.
Yeah, no one. Just like Ocasio-Cortez struggles living in this nice apartment and drinking margaritas and wearing like a $12,000 pantsuit or whatever.
And Nancy Pelosi.
And she's talking about getting a pay raise.
Ice cream.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi's always trying to eat ice cream. Like she's like, "What are y'all doing in your quarantine? Yeah, in your little homes. I'm eating $12 a pint ice creams right now.
Look at my special fridge that's only stocked with ice cream.
Dude, that fridge is like it's like the most expensive fridge. I read some comments and some guy said it was like a $300,000 fridge or something like that.
Well, she had a separate freezer on it just for her $12 pint ice cream.
Yeah. She had the cheese
like
of the fridge.
Like a $4 ice cream. Triple that price and then buy like 60 of them.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about some of Joe Biden's spectacular VP options. To start off with, we got Kamala Harris.
So I think she's probably the most likely choice. She fits what the Democrats are trying to do here, which is replace their old white guy they picked with diversity. Because if you haven't noticed, if you are a white old guy,
then you're probably a Democratic candidate.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at
Trump's orange, so doesn't really.
If you can't say Trump's orange sometimes and then call him white the other times. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. You're not making sense, dude. Come on.
Kamala Harris was the only candidate who ran this election cycle who was a female African American or black woman, and this would be, I guess, a big ad for the Biden campaign because he got torn apart by a black female presidential candidate for supporting segregation. Can you remember the name of that candidate who basically called Joe Biden a racist and called him a segregationist? I think it was Kamala Harris.
It probably was Kamala Harris.
It was.
They switch on each other all the time because that's what they do. Whatever they say, they could say
anything.
One thing today and then the exact opposite tomorrow. It's all about the surface of what they're saying
as he goes along. If you don't remember the first debate where they asked, do you support there was something it was like amnesty or decriminalizing illegal immigration, basically, like making it not a crime to be committing a crime by being you know what I mean. And he literally looked around and waited for all 20-something other candidates to raise their hands before he did. Like, you can't do that. And
yeah,
it's astonishing to anyone who's not an establishment Democrat how Joe Biden got in this position.
that just goes to show that if you elect Joe Biden, you're not electing Joe Biden.
No, you're not.
You're electing, like, his cabinet, you're electing China, you're electing everybody around him. You're not electing him, though.
No, and that's why when you see all these candidates who dropped out,
It's a shadow presidency.
Beto O'Rourke, like Elizabeth Warren, that's why I think she also might be a VP pick.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren, who didn't endorse Bernie even though their policies are identical.
Yeah, and she's also Native American, if you didn't know that.
That's true, Pocahontas.
Pocahontas, yeah. She's the one that said that she was...
Cherokee.
Yeah, Cherokee. And it turns out she was only 1,024th of an Indian. So I guess if she's Indian, then I guess I'm what?
Pretty much that makes you African.
I guess so, dude. I guess if that's the standard that we're setting now, then I guess we can just be whatever we want.
Well, that's what it's been with gender.
Yeah, that's same thing with gender, I guess.
We're just coming full circle, and we're being more accepting now by being able to identify.
Why don't we just do exactly what they do? But if we decided to do that, people in our group, they'd call us crazy.
Like if anyone on the right said, "Hey, I think it's a great idea to let grown-ass men go into the bathroom with little girls," we would be looked at like crazy people.
Yeah.
But if
it's acceptable on their side.
Tolerance and acceptance, and not child molestation or the window to opening that window to child molestation. That's all that is. But there's a lot of double standards that we're going to talk about on the show.
Yeah.
But Joe Biden is just a topic we can talk about for days. So we're just going to skip ahead to the next thing that we can talk about.
Yeah, go ahead and turn that on real quick. So our next topic is Michael Flynn. And most people our age don't really know much about him. Michael Flynn is a decorated 3-star general who before he was chosen to be on Trump's cabinet was regarded as a hero by all. He was just an amazing dude.
Such a great guy.
Yeah, everybody loved him.
Heap of integrity.
And then he was chosen to be in Trump's cabinet, be the director of national intelligence or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, national security. And then this kind of ties in with the whole Obamagate thing going on, but Obamagate is such a deep topic that is so confusing, and there's so much timeline to it. You almost have to be a prosecutor to completely understand it because there's so many documents that point in like
involved, entrenched in all the political stuff that's going on.
Yeah, you will drown in the documents of stuff that is in that. And that's the reason why that the media is so easily able to call Obamagate a conspiracy theory, because most Americans don't have time to spend all day researching a topic.
It did trend on Twitter for about a day straight, though, with like 3 million retweets and stuff like that, when most of the trending stuff gets like 10,000, 20,000 tweets. Obamagate had 3 million, which is something to take
That's a big deal. Yeah, that means that people started talking.
There's something going on in this country right now. Like, there's an awakening. Did you see the House seat in Los Angeles, the special election for Katie Hill, the Democrat, who she got like kicked out of Congress because her nudes got leaked?
I saw that.
Yeah, so she had her special election for her seat recently, and it's Los Angeles County. A Republican won it.
Really?
Yeah. And the county is like 50% black and Hispanic too.
Wow.
Which and it trends Democrat. It was a safe Democrat seat, and it was won by a conservative Republican, Trump-supporting Republican. So if you think stuff like that, and then it doesn't help when all these Democratic governors are keeping people inside their houses, but when you just build up all this stuff on top of it, it's setting up for a red wave in November.
Yeah. They are so afraid of Trump winning again that they will do anything to stop that.
Like institute a 3-month stay-at-home order.
But back to Michael Flynn, the 3-star general who they basically framed. They bankrupted him. They destroyed his family.
Drowned him in legal fees.
Yeah, what they did to him was terrible. It was obvious that he never did anything in the first place. But just like with Russian collusion, there was an astounding amount of evidence against him. There wasn't. And it came out recently after the Department of Justice dropped his case. And if the Department of Justice drops your case, then there was probably a really big error made.
Like nothing like shortening sentences, nothing like that. Like they just immediately.
Flat
This is
out
someone
made
who
an
pled
error.
Guilty. He
Yeah.
pled guilty to the crime because he got strong-armed into it.
Yeah.
So if you plead guilty to something and then they drop your case, like you openly admitted to doing it and they dropped your case, that means
that
there's something going on.
something wrong on their side. And there's even text messages that came out between the prosecution against him that say, how can we get him to lie? Imagine if you were getting prosecuted in court and they literally trick you into lying.
They set the whole thing up like that.
Yeah, they set him up. And that's just solely because that they were so afraid of him, so afraid of like the Democrats, of what he would have done to them had he became the director of national intelligence, that they had to completely ruin him.
The thing is too, like, this is the same story with the Russia collusion thing. We've got a situation where they are basically throwing any charges they can get to stick at people, where we say, like, how can we get him to lie? They want him to lie to Congress so that they can charge him with that. They didn't have an actual crime. They were trying to force one into existence. That's why you have so many, like, not so many, there's about 5 Trump-related people who got indicted after the Russia collusion thing for things like tax fraud. You see where they go in and they look for Trump affiliates who they can get on anything.
They go through their financial records and everything.
All that stuff. And Russian collusion,
which is
and
illegal.
Tax fraud
You're not supposed to be able to do that.
No correlation to each other. But that's why you see those indictments under the Russian collusion thing, because they did all of this stuff where they would basically just try to throw whatever they could at the person and see if it would stick and just ruin their lives with it.
And you see, that's what's so amazing about Donald Trump, because they threw literally every single weapon they could at him, and nothing stuck. That goes to show, like, if I was president right now and they did that, or he was, that they would have found something by now.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, probably some text message from like
I feel
2008
that's why when people say
when I was a
stuff
little
like-
kid or something. But they literally went through this guy's entire life.
That's why I feel like when people make all these accusations against Trump, you don't think they would have found it already? Like,
Yeah,
the amount
exactly.
Of deep digging they do,
And you
Democrats
see-
do on Trump,
Yeah.
like,
And the only thing that they still run with is the whole grab him by the you-know-what. That's probably the worst thing they've ever caught him saying, to be honest with you.
Because if that
And that was locker room talk, and there's never been anybody. So what? He had a one-night stand with Stormy Daniels.
I mean, I personally don't agree with the affairs, but like he is that has.
But
no
that was when he was a
relevance.
civilian. That was when he was a normal person. I mean,
Stormy
he was
Daniels
famous too. He was in
attacked
Hollywood.
him.
Don't you think? How many people in Hollywood have affairs? Pretty much everybody.
I mean,
That's
because-
that's what it is. That's Hollywood is just
Stormy
a bunch
Daniels
of.
got mad at me on Twitter. She called me repulsive.
Yeah, he got in an argument with Stormy Daniels on Twitter. I want to get in an argument with a porn star. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah. So just what they did to Michael Flynn was completely unprecedented and wrong. And they're still trying to bring his case back.
Yeah,
right now.
There's people trying to block the Department of Justice from dropping his case, his entire case.
Mm-hmm. And that would set an even worse precedent in our country to people that are going to be prosecuted in the future. So our final topic for today kind of ties in with Michael Flynn and Russia collusion and stuff like that. And it's a young man named Seth Rich. Seth Rich he worked at the Democratic National Committee, and he was the one that was rumored to have leaked the emails after the DNC hack and Hillary's emails. One day, as he was going home, he was shot in the back. Like a lot of our parents know about this. This was a few years ago. He was shot in the back, and the narrative that was pushed out was that he was robbed. How do you get robbed if you still have all your possessions on you? That doesn't make a lot of sense. And his case was swept completely under the rug. And if you were to look it up right now, the internet hails it as a conspiracy theory. But how is it a conspiracy theory if the platform that put out the emails that were hacked, which is WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, the head of that, says in an interview, he basically hinted that he was the guy that leaked the emails to him and put up a $20,000 reward to whoever found information on his death. What do you think, Adam?
Well, I think that when you get shot in the back, it's either you're running from someone or you are being ambushed. And there's no evidence or anything that he was running from someone. And the really confusing thing about this is the police were alerted to gunfire at 4:20 in the morning. And that was like hours after the bar he was at had closed. Like, all of these things are really suspicious.
Yeah.
And they're all things that
nothing
don't really
connects
add
with
up.
this.
And it was just like, how do you rob someone? Because this was what they ruled it as, was just a robbery. And then they just said someone robbed him. They shot some really powerful man in the back twice and killed him, and then just left him out here in the streets. But by the way, it was just a robbery, and that's the only motive.
Nothing to see here, folks. Just keep going. Basically. I mean, that's what's so crazy is how just no one talks about that. And you see what's so big about this case is if there was vindication with this, it would completely blow the Russian collusion hoax open 100%, because part of it was that Trump allegedly colluded with Russia to get these emails, right?
Yeah.
So if that didn't happen
all
and
stuff
he was
like
the one
this,
that was killed, then it's obvious that their narrative is completely wrong and Hillary or somebody murdered him. And we're talking about this now because his lawyer has just recently requested for more information pertaining to his death, and there's rumors that he may reopen his case. And if that happens, then there's some pretty serious things happening. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we at now?
I don't know. We're wrapping up. We're about
Awesome.
21 minutes in. So this is about to be the format we're going to try to do for most of our videos.
Yep.
The next one that comes out, I think on Saturday-ish, around that time.
It's a long video,
So that one, that's a little different. But this is what you can really expect from us most of the time. Different topics, different things. But we know you're probably not going to agree with the majority of the stuff we say or all of what we say. But the goal here is for you to go and come to your own conclusions
and do some research.
Look
if you don't agree with us, do some research and present us with your ideas, what you think.
Like, all these things are documented online. You can look up videos of Joe Biden clearly exhibiting that he has something wrong with him. Those are really funny, and it's a great use of your time. What you can also do is, if you look up Clinton body count right now, I'll tell you exactly.
There's a whole tree about it. We could go into that forever. But the main takeaway here is just think for yourself, please, because they don't want you to. They want you to stay in line with everybody else. Just come to your own conclusions. That's the whole reason we made this show. Agree to disagree. Be civil about it. And we'll see you on Saturday.